so many who are running away from chaos. And when I look at them, some of them could be my relatives. Could be our relatives, but now they are refugees. Well, we were refugees before 86. All my relatives were, I remember when I was coming on my way to the bush, were in Kenya. Others were elsewhere. Most of us, Bishop, I'm sure you will testify. But it's because of the philosophy. And this philosophy is what he talks about, which, you know, there are people who are gifted. Let's agree. People who are, you know, I don't know that the comparison with God, I don't think even the president appreciates that. Because God is in another realm, and nobody should even, but really for human beings. Because when some of us knew nothing, the man was already, the cow talked about it, mobilizing his people, solve the problems of his community. He went to Dar es Salaam rather than Makerere because he was on a mission. Because if you read his book, why did he go to Dar es Salaam? So he prepared himself. So we should be unlucky. I remember one time I visited Zambia in 1988 as an officer. We were going on some kind of trip. And the president had just visited Zambia on a state visit. And so we were in the barracks talking to Zambian officers. Then they said, you people, you have a president. We wish you had this president. No, you might say, oh, what would you say? I'm just telling you a fact. So it's not just because they were simply pressed. And those of you who don't get impressed when you listen to him or read what he writes, I'm sorry for you. Now, that's the main point, which again will link up to my main presentation. You see, unlike the history, the way we were taught history, and even I don't know now how it's taught, but the president, if you read his, how he has managed to really have this, he goes back to the beginning of the history of humankind. 400, he begins with the roots. He traces our problems, our current problems, to the beginning of humankind, about 5 million years ago. And we, you know, we are ancient people. We, you know, talk about now and become local. We are very ancient people. Because we represent a society that has gone through most of the stages of human development. Those who have read the political economy, you know the stages I'm talking about. The hunter-gatherer, the storyteller. It's called Guns, Germs, and Steel. And it talks about, this page is talking about, there is a page which shows, it's not me, I have no relationship with this man, but he talks about, the chapter is called How Africa Became Black. And look at this, it says, above like Sahara and above, they were whites. See, then below this was about 3000 BC. I mean, our history
for cascading Musevenoics to the parish, which is the epicenter of planning, administration, and service delivery for purposes of wealth creation and transforming our communities from peasantry to modernity. About 59% of the subsistence households in KISORO district have received PDM money, and some of them are moving steadily towards prosperity. However, one of the continuing gaps is the problem of the 25.8% of the total number of households in the district, which, according to the 2024 UG census report, are still in the subsistence economy. Actually, nationally, 33.1% of the households are still trapped in the subsistence segment. Are we together? It is our political and technical to advise our people to engage in profit-oriented commercial ventures so that they transform from what economists call the survival economy, characterized by production of the eating only, to a commercial economy characterized by production for profit that will drive us to modernity. What are we saying here? That we need, as leaders, to encourage our people to engage in those things that will get them from poverty. What are we saying? In agriculture, are we practicing modernized agriculture? When it comes to the crops we plant, are they those that have high value, and are they internationally? So, and as KISORO, we have small land but very fertile, and this will require us to plan so well, because one of the presenters said we have very fertile land, but the land we own per household is very small. So what is it that we can do to use that land efficiently and very profitably so that our economy can grow fast without any business mindset, and transform them into settled commercial dairy farmers with reasonable monthly incomes, permanent, because with solar power and tap water for water harvesting. In that area today, many children are going to universities through private sponsorship and are all in school. In Mbarara, we've seen it, most of us have passed there. What we are saying here is that we can also transform our KISORO into a place that can attract much more investment by using what we have and by utilizing it well, and probably putting value addition in whatever we do. For example, we are good at doing beans. We are agriculturists mainly, and if we put value to these beans. For example, in many supermarkets in Kampala, they look at these beans. But as soon as they are harvested, right now, they are feeding them to Kampala, just from the gardens to the market. But we can do value addition, and we do circles and take those beans when they are packaged, when they are dried enough and sorted, and we get a higher price for them. But here, we are getting people who are coming even from other districts who come and buy and take them and get all the big profits. Yet, our farmers are investing in a lot, but earning less than what a middleman earns. So if as leaders, we can encourage our farmers to add some value on what they produce, it would be possible for them to make their lives better and contribute to the economy's growth. Since many of our people have small pieces of land on account of the backward practices of inheritance, we should follow the President's example, advise them to go for improved crop varieties such as onions, fruits, pastures for dairy farming, and under zero grazing food crops such as bananas, potatoes, etc. And the backyard activities of poultry for eggs, pigs, as well as fish farming and apiary where feasible. As leaders, we need to be advising our people to engage in these crops that are of high value. Since we have very, very small pieces of land, there is a lot we can do on the pieces of land to achieve higher value from what we have. And state agricultural extension workers and community-based facilitators, CBFs, to promote integrated farming and the 4-acre model as one of the strategies under Musevenoics. Those with bigger land, they can practice that kind of model, so that on 1 acre you put this like beans, on the other acre you put cows, on the other acre you put all sorts of things, so that by the time you are harvesting at the end of the season, you have a system that is coexisting. From what you have, the animals you have on the 4-acre model, those animals will produce for you manure. You not go for these chemicals that are dilapidating our land, and it will be possible for you to get that manure and get a higher output of the little land you have. Many of the enterprises mentioned above are of high value, and they have national, regional, and international markets.